Perfect. Just doing go live from here. All right. Hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. We are welcoming you for December Power BI user group event for Delhi and Philippines edition. Today we have amazing speaker with us, Hariharan. So before we get started with the session, let me just give you a little bit introduction about him. So basically, he is a Microsoft MVP for data platform, and he's a Microsoft certified trainer as well as very active in the community, and he's a Power BI super user as well. So he has a very vast experience in the IT, and today's session is also one of the interesting session that is about paginated report. So I would like to welcome Hari on this Power BI monthly user group. Welcome Hari, and first of all, good morning and how are you?
Yeah, thanks, Dhruvin. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm absolutely well. So today's session is really interesting one, like modernizing paginated report. So if you can just tell us a few idea, like what will be the end outcome will the audience will get from today's session. So if you can just take a short brief and then you can just get started.
Sure. Hi, everyone. A very good morning to everyone. So this session is about how you can modernize your Power BI paginated reports. So when we talk about paginated reports, it is something like a legacy tool, like coming from SSRS, but still people in Power BI platform, right? So they are still have the requirement to build a pixel perfect or a paginated report. So that's where we can use this tool. So at the end of this session, you can understand what are the different or advanced capabilities that you have in Power BI paginated report and how you can use them for your development or in case if you're going for a migration project, right? So migration, for example, from SAP business objects to Power BI. So most of the SAP business objects reports will be more of a pixel perfect report. So they may create or they may have reports for more of a exporting requirements or subscription based requirements. So I'm going to showcase some of the features that will help you to see how you can easily migrate those legacy pixel perfect reports into a paginated reports. And also I'm going to show you how you can easily integrate this paginated report with Power BI platform, Power BI desktop platform. So you have a flexibility to use Power BI dataset as a source, and you have a flexibility to embed your paginated report within the Power BI desktop reports. Yeah, I have plenty of demos. So maybe I can start with agenda here. So this is the agenda. Like I just have only two slides to cover what is paginated report. So in case if you are new to paginated report, maybe I'll just touch base what is paginated report and the licensing part and full of demos. So before that, about myself, as Dhruvin already told about myself. This is my blog. So this is my credentials. Like I'm a Microsoft MEP in data platform, also a Microsoft certified trainer, and I'm running a YouTube channel called Harris BI. So there I talk or post more about Power BI, and you can see some of the SAP business objects related videos as well. And this is my blog, dataap.com, where you can see more of Power BI related articles. And in case if you want to reach me, this is my LinkedIn and Twitter handle, so you can reach me through LinkedIn and Twitter. So let's start with the introduction. So as I said, my paginated report or report builder is not a new technology from Microsoft Power BI. So we have a tool called or component called SQL Server Reporting Services in MSBI stack. Right, so they have taken that whole framework, SSRS framework, and they have deployed or hosted in the Power BI platform. Right, they have hosted in the premium capacity initially, and then they have expanded to all the licenses. And this is for building a pixel perfect reports. So whenever you go for a requirement with the customer, if they have anything specific for a pixel perfect layouts, the requirements or subscriptions or export options, right? So then this is the right candidate. Paginated report will be the right choice for those kind of requirements. So if you take a desktop reports, you might aware there are limitations around exporting the data, especially exporting the data into Excel, and you cannot export that whole report into an Excel. So you have to export a specific visual into a Excel data or CSV data There too you have a limitation on around 1,50,000. So that's the maximum number of records that you can export it. But using this paginated report, you don't have a limitation on number of records that to be exported. So you can use this option. And to building a paginated report, we have a dedicated tool, like how we have the Power BI desktop. So we have a tool called Power BI Report Builder. So using that report builder tool, we will be building these paginated reports, and then we will be deploying that into a Power BI workspace. And then this again a right use case when you have the exporting requirement, where if you want to allow business users to export a data into PDF, Word, or Excel, then yeah, you can consider this paginated report as one of the option. Then licensing part. So let me give you a history how they have hosted this paginated report in the Power BI platform. So initially they have started hosting this paginated report workload in the premium capacity. So only premium capacity users or customers can use those paginated report option. And slowly they have introduced this premium per user. So again, it is a very good option for small scale business users. So they can purchase this premium per user, and they can easily create paginated reports and deploy, and that can be shared with their business users. And very recently, so now they have introduced this paginated report option for Power BI Pro. So this is not yet live. It will be available by end of this year. Right. So with that, any user, any Power BI user, either Pro, Premium per user or Premium capacity, they can leverage this tool, a report builder, and they can start create paginated reports and share it with their customers. So with that, actually, if you have a requirement, you can cover most of them in the Power BI desktop-based reports. And if you have anything specific for a pixel perfect, you can leverage this paginated report. So I mean, every customer will be get benefited from this new update from the Microsoft Power BI. So that's about it. Let me start the demo. So the first one is a very quick introduction to what is a report builder, how you can build a paginated report, and how you can deploy it. Right. So this is the tool. So so this is called, just a second. So this is called report builder, Power BI report builder tool. So this you have to download from your Power BI portal. And once it is again free, so you can download it, and you can install it. Once you install, you will see the look and feel something similar to this. Right. So this is again a same report builder that you can see in the SSRS platform. Right. So they have added few additional functionalities like a publish option, and they have added this data section to display like what are the different data sources are supported for this paginated report. And to start with, you need to start with the data source. So this is the first place where you need to define what is the data source that you are going to use for this paginated report. And you can see there are different databases. So these are the list of data sources or data connectors supported within the paginated report. Most of them are relational databases, right? So you could see a SQL Server, even Synapse Analytics, Oracle, Teradata. These are the supported data connectors. So you need to create a data source by defining like what is your SQL Server, what is your server name, database name, and then the credentials. Once you define the data source, you are going to create a data set. So data set is something that you are going to create a subset of data that is required for the report from your databases or data sources. So if you are working with Power BI, I'll just compare how this will look like in Power BI. So in Power BI, you have a flexibility to connect to different data sources, and you have a flexibility to create a data model, right? So here in paginated report, you don't have option to create a data model and all. But what you can do, you can create a table. You can get the script from the table or a view, and you can combine these different tables, and you can create one final script. So if you create a simple visual here, if you drag and drop fields from these tables, just for example, if you are creating something like this, so in the back end, this visual will create a query. So this is taking a query from dim product and taking a field from fact sales. So you need to build a data set with that dim product, that color name, and then sales. as a single data set, and that data set will be used for your different visuals within this paginated report. Most of the time here the visual will be like a table or matrix, because that is the primary reason where they want to export this report. So if they want to have the visuals like charts, they can go with Power BI desktop reports. And I will show you how this can be easily integrated with the Power BI desktop reports, where they can have one side as a more interactive visuals, and the other side can be this paginated report just with a table or matrix with customized layouts. So data set is something that you are going to build to provide a fields for your visuals. So that's about data sets, and that's all. You don't have any other complex scenarios, like you don't need to create a data model here. You don't need to define the relationship. So everything can be defined within this data set. So here you can write a SQL statement joining with multiple tables, multiple different filter conditions, etc. Right, and you can easily define the parameters here. So in case if you want to allow users to restrict a specific set of records, then you can create a parameter here, and you can allow the users to choose that value from the parameter. And here we don't have a concept called import. Right, here it is everything is direct query. So which means whenever user opens a report, the query will send back to the underlying database, whatever data source that you have used, and it will run against the database, and you will see the results back in the visual. So this kind of a direct query. So you don't have a in-memory concept here. Right. If I want to show you a simple reports just to understand how this looks like in the service. So I have a very simple report, kind of a invoice report. So this we have created in the report builder and deployed into the this workspace called the demo container. So here you can see this is the parameter. So whenever we define a parameter, so when user opens the report, they have to specify or they have to choose a value for that parameter, and then they need to click view report. So once they click view report, they can see this kind of reports. So if you see this kind of reports cannot be built in Power BI, because here more of a customized sections, and here this table is simple, but there are scenarios where you have to have a customized layout, merging the columns and cell level formatting, cell level conditions, and show and hide for the specific column. So those are some of the functionality that you have in paginated report, not in the desktop reports. So this is how they can see, and they can easily export this into Excel, PDF, or any of these other formats. Right. So this is a basic report. I'll show you another scenario. Right. So here we saw some of the data sources. Right. So if you see, these are the kind of relational databases. So what if you want to connect to an Excel? What if you want to connect to a Microsoft MS Access DB? Right. If you see those data connectors, you will not see it here. And if you see, like if you take SAP BO reports, sometimes they will be connecting to SAP HANA databases, right? So you will not see HANA database here. So how you can connect those modern applications or even more legacy applications, right? So you have an option called ODBC. So using ODBC, you can connect to any databases or any files or any data sources which has the ODBC support. So with that, we can expand this whole data connector list even wider. And if you take Excel, we cannot connect with ODBC with Excel. So where you can use this option, Power BI dataset, right? So you can have an Excel or you can have a text file, CSV or PDF. So you can create a Power BI dataset by using the Power BI desktop, where you can have a plenty of connectors here. So you can choose them and you can create a Power BI dataset. You can define the relationship. You can create measures on top of this data model, and you can publish this dataset into Power BI workspace, and you can easily consume that Power BI dataset as a source for your paginated reports. So with that, there is no restriction on the data connectors what we have in the paginated reports. So whatever data connectors that are supported in Power BI desktop, all can be leveraged here using the Power BI dataset. So if I want to show you how you can connect, you can easily go to here, Power BI dataset connection, or you can choose here Power BI dataset, and you can see build, and it will open your Power BI tenant, where It will list out all the workspaces where you have access, and you can choose the workspace, and you can choose your Power BI dataset. So when you choose the Power BI dataset, so by default it is connecting using the Azure Analysis Services, and then this dataset is sorry data source is created. Now you can start create a dataset. So you can choose that data source. If you go to Query Designer, so this will list out all the fields, all the measures that you have created on the Power BI dataset. And this is going to open you the GUI where you can easily drag and drop whatever fields that you want for these paginated reports, or you can still use this query option. So there you can easily write your DAX scripts and get the data from these tables. Maybe you can start with this GUI where you can easily drag and drop, and you can easily define the parameters, right? So in case if you want to allow users to restrict the data, restrict a specific column during the runtime, you can make them make those fields available as a parameter, and then whenever they run it, they will they need to filter that value, and then they can see the results. So this is how you can easily modernize your paginated reports by supporting multiple data connectors through the Power BI dataset. That's about the very basic introduction. And let's talk about the multi-page option. So this is another interesting use case. If you are working for a migration project, if the legacy platform supports multiple page option, right? So if you see here, let me quickly show you the report, how the page navigation is here in this report builder, the paginated reports. So here we don't have a concept called a multi-page. So here we have a page option. So the data will be flowing from one page to all other pages based on the number of rows that we have in the report. So if you see here, this is a simple table visual in the paginated reports, and you can see a page navigation next page. So because we have more number of records on this table, so we have to navigate to see all the pages. So when you export this, it will be exported into an Excel with all of this data. So here you can see there are many number of pages, more than 100 or something. Because each page we're just showing only 20 to 30 records, so it will be flowing to multiple pages. So this is what we have in the paginated reports. But if you consider any legacy platform, even if you take SAP Business Objects, so there is a concept called pages. If you take a Power BI Desktop, here also you have a pages. So each page you can define a different set of visuals, right? So, but we don't have this option in Power BI paginated report. All we have a single page that will flow to multiple pages, just to make sure this is showing all the records. So how to achieve this kind of a pagination in paginated reports? So when you work for the migration, in case if you are uh, uh, pointing that report, that SAP BO reports to paginated reports, then you need to handle, or you need to make sure you are covering that multi-page option, right? So what you can do, either you can create different paginated reports for each page. So if you have three different pages, you can have one paginated report for each page. So you will end up with three different paginated reports. The other effective option is you can build one report itself, and you can dump all the visuals into one report, and you can easily allow business users to navigate to that specific section. So that's what I'm going to show. Let me show you the report result first. So consider this is one of the report, right? So which we built in the PageNet report. Here you can see this is the table. So I can go to next page, and the first table itself flowing to the next page because there are a lot of rows. Even I can go to the next page. So this is how I need to, or a user need to go to the next pages and see what are the other visuals are added, right? So to give a better navigations, we can create this kind of a buttons, right? If you see, this is all feature. You can see this is the logo and this is the title for all feature. Now user can click product. So when they click product, it will take them to a product page, and you can see the title changed, and it's showing a different visuals for the product page. And same goes for the sales market. If they click a sales market, they are in sales market, the title is changed, and it is showing the visuals related to this sales market. They can easily go back to the previous tabs. So this we can achieve within paginated report with the help of bookmark. Basically, we are still navigating. If you see, if I click product, it is taking us to fourth page directly instead of manually going to one by one. Because sometimes you may not show like how many records are there. So it might be flowed into multiple pages, 10 pages, 20 pages. It is difficult for user to go to one by one and identify what is the next visuals that we have in this report. Right, so that is where we can use this extended navigation option with the help of bookmarks. Let me show you how this can be achieved. So this is the report. So business user experience is straightforward, but if you see the developer experience, I have repeated the sections, the contents multiple times to make sure they are seeing something like this. Yes. Let me open it again. I'll just open it from here. Just a second. Okay, this is the report. Let me remove this. Okay, we need this. Okay, so here we have created a data source, and these are the different data sets that is used for this report. And if you see here, I have a logo, and this is the title, and I can just remove this as well. And these are the text boxes actually. And what I did, I just grouped all of these different elements into a rectangle. So when I say rectangle, all of these will be grouped into a single object where we can easily drag and drop and place it anywhere. Right. So you can see the rectangle is this one, rectangle one. And this I have colored as black color with the white font, and this I changed to blue, sorry, green. So this is just to show the difference. Whatever is selected, that will be in black, and the other ones will be in a different color. Right. So what I did, I just grouped this, and you can see a property called bookmark. For this particular rectangle, I set the bookmark as H1. I just copy pasted here and change the title and change the colors here, and I just marked as bookmark H2. And if you see the third section, it is same. Just rename the title, change the colors, and bookmark as H3. Right, if you see in a page in a browser, so you will see a link on some of the headers. So when you click the link, it will take you to the page, or it will take you to that section on the same page. It's the same option here within paginated reports. So if you see here, so what functionality we got, right? When user clicks this product, it will take them to a this section, basically this product tab. Right, so if you see this text box has additional properties. You can go to the properties, you can see an action here that you have one of the option called go to bookmark. So here I'm saying h2, so I already defined h2 as this particular section. If I click here, then it should take you to this section which is h3. So if I go to see this action, you can see go to bookmark as h3. So this is how we have defined the bookmark, and we have defined the action for each of these tabs, and that's how we achieve these results. Basically, it is everything in a single page, single canvas. And we have also added a page break just to ensure this once this is completed, this should start from the fresh page. It should not start immediate after this particular visual, the first visual. So with those options, we can achieve this kind of experience. So this is how actually we have migrated around 600 plus reports for one of the US leading telecom company. They have SAP business objects, right? So there they have maintained multiple pages. Each page has different tables. So with this option, we have created one single report to cover all the pages, and we have shared with the business users. This is the second one. And then the third one is calculations. So if you are already working on paginated reports, you know that how the calculations works in the paginated reports. So here we have the predefined set of calculations, sorry, functions. So you can use those functions and you can achieve whatever results that you want. So I just created another report. So here again, simple data source. So one of the option here is enter data, right? So in case if you have a static data and maybe for a practice purpose, if you want to practice with your sample data which you have in Excel, you can just copy paste that data and you can choose that data source as a enter data. And if you go to a data set, you can just simply paste that data. If you go to query designer, you will have options something similar to what we have in the enter data option in desktop. Right? So you can just paste the data here and that will be created as a data set. So that's how I created this data set. If you go to query designer, so this is the data that I just copy pasted for this demo. And once this data set is created, you can start create your reports, the visuals. So I was talking about the calculations, right? So if you see here, this is a simple report. So here you have the brand name and color name and then sales amount. So we just grouped these two into different sections. So brand name, under brand name, you have different colors. So same for different brands. So this you can create by using the grouping. So I have created a group for brand and another group for color. So in paginated report, if you simply drag and drop any field, right, if that contains a duplicate, so that will not be automatically aggregated, right? So it will show duplicates. But whereas if you take the same field and place it in the desktop, Power BI desktop, it will automatically show only the distinct values, not the duplicate values. So if I just simply drag and drop, you will see the distinct list of brand names here. So here you need to explicitly do a group by. So that's the reason we have added a group by on this column and then group by on the color. And when it is a group by, so obviously we need to add the aggregate function for the measures. So that's where I'm added the sum of amount. If you go to expressions, so this is the expression. You can use sum function. And if you want to know what are the functions we have within the report builder, you can go to these sections and they have categorized the functions into different sections: text, date, time, math, inspection, program flow. So these are the different functions. You can use any of these function and you can achieve the expressions here. So this is pretty straightforward. You can easily and again you can go through these description examples and you can easily create an expression. So if you see this result, so this is just a simple total sales by color by brand name. Right. So how you can have the advanced measures or calculations created. For example, if you go to the desktop report, right. So if you see, we have the same information, brand and then colors, and you have the amount. It is just a simple amount column. But here I have added another measure called all colors. So this is going to show the total amount for that particular brand here. So in case if you want to do a percentage, right? So you can easily get this expressions or this all colors by using all of color function in the DAX. So if you see, if you want to achieve the same, what you can do, either you can create this measure in the Power BI desktop and you can use that measure in the paginated reports by connecting Power BI dataset as a source. But you have an option by default available in the paginated report, you see. So I just make this so. So how you can achieve the same functionality here. So here you have seen like I'm using a same sum of amount, but I have added another property or parameter called brand group. So I want to get the amount and I want to override the filter, which is specifically for the color, override the colors, and I need to get the total amount for each brand. So whatever you see, brand group is something, a name of the group that we defined. So if you go here, this is the name. So which means I want to get the total sales amount with respect to this group, brand group, not specific to the color group. So if I run this report, you will see. So for this litware brand, these are the different colors. The total amount is 4427. You can see the same amount. Now you can do the percentage, like this value divided by this value will give you a percentage for this overall value. You can see the same value for the other brands. Condosa total amount is 1830, and that is what printed here. So you can easily define the row groups here in the calculation, and you can override that the row level filters, and you can have the group level filters added. Right. The next level, right, for example, if you see this, the overall sales amount is this one, 28059. In case if you want to do a percentage with respect to this overall total, you can still do that. So here I have added another expression. So this time I'm pointing to another group. Here you can see the group name is sales. We don't have a group called sales, but I'm referring this whole data set. So which means just override all the brand and color groups and show me the total sales from for this whole data set. Right. So that's what we have added. If I make it visible, you will see the total amount 28059 here, and you can do the calculations here easily, the percentage calculations. And then this is the usual one. In case if you want to show only specific for Fabricom brand name, like you can say if the brand name is Fabricom, show the sales amount. If not, then show zero. That's uh, that's a simple function. You can use if function and you can achieve the results. So it is zero for other brands and it is showing only value for Fabricom. And not just this, you have option to create a variables. If you go to report properties, you can see variable option. So here you can define the name of the variable and you can define an expression here. So here you will have option to choose any data set fields that you have in the report. And once you define the variable, and you can call this variable anywhere in your calculation. So we go to the expression, you can see variable sections, all the variables that you have created in the report that will be listed out here, and you can choose that variable for your calculations. That's one thing, and this will be very useful for whenever you want to use the same calculation or same expression across different tables or text boxes. And then the next one is not just only variables or just different groupings. What you can do, you still can refer a text box in your calculations. If you see this expression, I'm referring a text box, report items, exclamatory amount to dot value. Amount to is nothing but a text box name. And you can give any name for your text box, and this is the automated text box that is created. If you see, we are doing just a division for this amount to and text box 25. So if you see here, so this is the text box. So basically this whole table or a matrix, whatever, like it is just a collection of text boxes. If you select this text box, you can say, you can define the name of the text box. So I just mentioned amount to, and this is what I am referring in this text box. And the another one is think this one, yeah, text, this is text box 25. So basically what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get a percentage for the each individual row with respect to the overall or total sales amount. So you can see here amount to text box dot value divided by text box 25 dot value. So if I show this, you can see the percentage. So that's how you can easily refer the text boxes for your calculation, and you can easily get any complex scenarios achieved. And not just this, right? I have one more table. Let me view this. So what I'm trying to achieve here, so you have a min number. So this is another set, data set, median data set. So here we have list of sites and the numbers. On this data set, we want to achieve the minimum number, maximum number, and then median. So if you see this expression, we are using a min function, and we have a min max also there. See min max, but you don't see a median here. If you know what is the calculation for median, right, you can easily create your own custom function within this report builder, and that can be used here within this text box. So before I show you how I created that median function, you need to go to the report properties and go to code. So this is the place where you can create your own custom function using VB script. So here I just defined one function called median. So here I'm just adding a calculation, whatever we need to do to achieve the median. We have written in VB script, and once this function is defined in this code block, we can easily refer this the function that we created. So that is under code block. The name of the function is median, and median should look for all the numbers, all the records available on the data set. So that's where we are using lookup, and this is median is nothing but the data set that we named as median. So with that we can achieve the median function. Okay, can show you the result. You can see for these sites, this is the median. For these sites, these are the medians. So this is how you can easily create a custom function, and you can easily call that function anywhere in the report, not just a table. If you want to use visual, you can still refer this expression in the visual. So this is how you can take your calculation into next level with the help of these options. Otherwise, whatever is difficult, you feel difficult, you can create those calculation in your Power BI data set using DAX, and then you can call that DAX measures in the data set, and that can be used in the visuals. That's about the calculations, the patient report. Okay, next, the interesting topic is export options. So most of the time, we will be going paginated report for exporting requirements, right? Subscriptions or export options. Right, so what we have in this paginated report, let me show you. Export report. So if you have a single table or single visual, export should be a straightforward option. So you don't need to worry about that. But let's consider you have two different tables or two or multiple visuals, right? So if you try to export this into Excel, so all will be exported into a single sheet within single workbook. But what if you want to split this table into two different sheets in the same workbook? What you can do, you can choose the table. Now I just wrapped with a rectangle. So you can choose the rectangle. You can see a option called page name. So you can define the name for this particular table. You can set any name. So this is the name that will be created as a sheet in the Excel workbook. And the same way, I have added the name for the second table. You can see page name is colors. So if I try to export this, let me run and let me choose any date. Example 2010 November 9 view report. So this is an option that you can allow end user to choose a specific date, and based on that you can do a calculation and show as a report. So this is the report, and you can see so this is the second visual which is in 12th page. But that should be okay. Now if you want to export to Excel, you can export in folder. Okay, this is the one that we recently exported. You can see in the bottom there are two sheets. One is all features and another one is colors. So all feature contains only the table which are available in the all feature, and colors the second table. So this is how you can split the visuals into multiple sheets in an Excel sheet, the Excel workbook. And another interesting use case here, in case if you want to uh, hide one of the visual. Let's say if you take the previous example where we have the multi-page option. So if you try to simply export, it will export all those the secondary and third secondary headers, right? We had created a header for the second visuals, third visuals. So if you simply export, all of them will be printed in Excel. But we don't want to do that. We just added that header just for a navigation purpose, not for the exporting. So this will disturb the exporting requirements. Right? So that's where we have option called this render format. So if you see here, there is a pre-built function called globals render format name. So this will show you whatever format that you are trying to export. If you see here, run, you can see that render format is showing report, RPL report. And if you see the exported file, you will see the render format as Excel Open XML. So that intelligently identifying what is the method or what is the mode that we are selecting for that export option. So if you choose Excel, it will take this is Excel. If you try to export as a PDF, the value will be changed to PDF. So using that option, you can easily hide some of the unwanted sections in your report. Let's say if I don't want to print this report, I have a option to hide. If I go to rectangle, I can see hide, show or hide. Here I can write the expression. If the render format is Excel open or this Excel, then show it. If the render format is PDF, then hide it. So that's how we can easily handle this show and hide using this function, global render format function. And then the next important thing is, so most of the time they will be exporting huge amount of data, kind of a data dump, right? So you have the limitation on Excel, right? So you have the limitation around number of rows that can be stored on a single sheet within the workbook. So if you know that number, or if you want to split the export data into multiple sheets, right? So you have option. So for this table, what I have added, I created another row group. And if you see the expression, here I'm writing ceiling row number nothing. So this is the place where you can define the number. So you can define how many number of records should be fitted on the sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So if I say 5 lakhs, then only 5 lakh records will be placed in these the first sheet, all features, and rest all other 5 lakhs will be in second sheet and so on. So each sheet will have only 5 lakh records. So just to test if we can change this into, for example, 50. So now I can just, and again, one more option here, you need to set the page break between each instance of a group. So now we can try to export. Okay, now let us export this. So here you can see there are multiple all features. So each page will show only 50, maximum of 50. You can see. So this is how you can easily split. If you have a huge number of records, you can split them into different sheets in the same Excel workbook. And you can use the Power Automate in case if the size is huge. You can use Power Automate to store that file somewhere in your network folder or SharePoint or OneDrive. Yeah, you can use the Power Automate to choose the different target locations. If you go with a subscription in Power BI Paginated report, this is going to be always an attachment in your email. But yeah, if you can use Power Automate for different target locations. That's it about export option. And let's talk about the subscription. Right? So you can easily subscribe your reports in the service. So subscription is something similar to what you have in the desktop reports, but here you have option to choose what is the format that you want. You can easily create a subscription here. You can choose the person who want to subscribe and that format. These are the supported formats, and you can create a subscription. So here, as I mentioned, it will send an attachment to your email based on this schedule time and date. And you can use Power Automate for any other locations. But what if user wants to see the report in their email body? You cannot see like something a huge table, maybe a very aggregated table with some customized layouts. So those reports can be embedded in the email body. But if you take again same SAP BO, so there is a flexibility to embed a report result in the email body. So here in Power BI, we don't have that option, but we can achieve with the help of Power BI REST APIs. So I have a PowerShell script. Mm, show you that. So using this script, you can easily embed your report into your email body. So here we are using that client ID. So since we are trying to use the REST APIs, Power BI REST APIs, so we have to have the application registered in Azure AD, and we are getting the client ID in secret. So if you see here, we are just simply doing whatever we know so far, right? So we can export the data into Excel, PDF, right? So even we can export the data into Word. So using the REST API, we are exporting the data into Word. You can see this docx is nothing but exporting the data into Word. And in case if the report contains any parameters, you have to define the parameter. So if you see for that enter date, I'm just passing the start date, which you can get it from the previous functions. So once you define the format, define the values for the parameter, then we can call the REST API that will export the whole report into a Word, and that can be stored somewhere in your local. So here you can see this is where it will be exported. So you can define any name. Once this is exported, we have another function called Word to HTML. So this we have written. So here you can see, so using this function, what we can do, we can read that Excel, we can convert that Word document into HTML, and then we can read that HTML and we can paste it in the email body. So that's what we are doing here. So we are getting the HTML out of that Word document. Once we get the HTML and we are reading the content, reading the content of that HTML, and then we are placing in the get content. We are placing in the email body. So this I can share it with you in case if you have a similar requirement, you can make use of these REST APIs. You can convert them into a Word document. So other formats will not work properly if you try to convert into PDF or Excel. Again, if you try to read the content and place it in the body was not working. So that's the reason I went with Word option. You can export to Word first and then convert that Word document into HTML and read the content from the HTML, and then you can place it in the email body. And then you can, yeah, send an email. So this you can achieve using this PowerShell script, or you can still go through this same process in Power Automate, and you can easily embed the Power BI report content in the email body. So this is another solution that you can think of on the subscription side. And then next interesting part is how you can easily integrate your Power BI paginated report into desktop. So we were seeing like you can leverage the Power BI dataset as a source, right? Using that Power BI dataset as a source, you can leverage all the measures that you created in the Power BI paginated reports. And again, if you are using import mode on the Power BI dataset, the performance of the paginated report also will be faster than the regular direct query. Right. So here, what else you can do? So you see, so this is a simple report, right? In SAP Business Objects. So I'm just referring SAP Business Objects because that's again a legacy tool, but there are a lot of features. So when we have migration scenarios, either SAP Business Objects or Cognos or Tableau, so you can take anything. Right? So there are different functionality which are specific to that product. So you may not see that same functionality in our Power BI sometimes, right? So if you take SAP Business Objects, so there is a concept called input controls, right? So input control is something similar to a slicer in Power BI Desktop. But if you see the paginated reports, we don't have a slicer concept, but what we have a parameter. I show you this. You can create a parameter for whatever fields and whatever value that you want to allow users to choose. You can create a parameter for those. For example, class name here, I can select all, and then color name, I can select all, and the user can click view report. So based on these selections, the report will rendered for these specific values. So this is how it will work in the paginated report, but you don't have a slicer option. In case if I choose a specific value, if that is only specific for one of the class name, then it will not be automatically filtered. So it is always going to be a single direction. So once you selected all of this, the next filter can show only the relevant data for whatever you selected in the previous parameter. So it will not be a bi-direction. But if you take slicer, it will be a bidirection. You can choose one value, the previous or next parameters or the fields or the slices will automatically filter down. So that we have in the SAP business objects. In case if you're migrating the SAP business objects, and if user wants to see the same functionality here, what you can do, you can create a parameter here, and you can create a slices in the desktop report. Right. So here, as I mentioned, input control is nothing but a slices in the desktop. So you can add all the slices here. Let me show you that. For example, we have the color name and then class name. So this we can change it as a slicer, and then this also can be changed as a slicer. Now we have the slicers, and here we can embed the paginated reports. Please zoom a bit. So these are the different slices. You have one of the pre-built visual called Power BI paginated report visual. So you can click that. You need to connect to the paginated report. Before that, you need to create a paginated report first and make sure that is working, and make sure that has a parameter in it. Right. So this is the report that we are going to connect basically. This is the report PB_DS, which has the parameter, and based on the selection, it will show the different values here. So we are going to connect, and this will list out all the paginated reports across different workspaces wherever you have access. You can search for that report. So this is a report, and you can see set parameters. So this will list out all the parameters that you have in that report, and we need to match the or map the fields to this parameter. Right. So here you can see this not enabled because we have to add the fields here on this visual. Can read here as well, select the fields in the data model. So we are going to add these two fields, color name and then class name, because these two are the parameters. So we need only these two fields. Now you can see we have option to choose a field. Class name goes to here, class name parameter, and then color name here. Once you have mapped the data fields, just click see report. Okay, now the paginated report is rendered. Yes, for some reasons I'm not okay. I'm able to expand now. So if you see it here, so here you have the slicers. You can still have different interactive visuals. Now I can choose any specific color. You can see now it is showing okay all the colors, because if there is no selection by default in Power BI term, it is all color, all selected. So now we can choose a specific color. So once I selected, you can see apply changes. So I can click apply. So in this report will render only for whatever is selected, brown. So it is showing only color name as brown. So this is how you can easily achieve that functionality, whatever we have in the SAP BO, that input controls, and not just a slicer. You can still create a report with sales amount by brown, and when you click a brown column chart or pie chart, so that interactive will be passed into this paginated report, and it will ask you to click apply changes. Or in case if you want to apply the changes automatically, you have option in the format option, auto apply filter. So when you select, so whenever there is a change or a selection on the slicer, so the report automatically rendered on, and it will show the specific result for the selected value. And here user can export the results into any of these format. So this will be very helpful when you have a data set created, and you have some requirement for interactive dashboards, and some for paginated reports. Instead of asking users to go to two different reports, you can embed the paginated report in one of the page, or even in the same page side by side, and you can allow users to see everything within a single Power BI desktop report. So they can even export the results from this desktop report itself. In case if they have the subscription requirement, then they have to go to that specific paginated report and they have to subscribe. because here we don't have option to set up a subscription, so they need to go to that report. So this is one integration that we have within Power BI Desktop. And in case if you are a newer, right, a new to Power BI paginated report or a report builder, so if you want to start using that, so what you can do, you can connect to the Power BI datasets as a source, and then you need to write the so you need to write the DAX expression here, or you can use the GUI where you can easily drag and drop. So the other easiest option is what you can do, you can create whatever you need. In case if you're good in Power BI desktop reports, you can create whatever visual you need. Say if I want to take brand name wise total sales. So this is the table visual. Let's say for example, this is the table visual that you want to create in a paginated report. You create the same visual here, and whatever parameter, the slices that you want to add, you can add it here. Let's say we can add a class name as a slicer, and you can choose whatever you want. So just for example, I have selected this slicer, this class name slicer, and this is the result. What you can do, you can go to performance analyzer, and you can get the query from this visual. So I can choose run this specific visual, and this is the script. Copy it here. And you can use this same script to create your Power BI dataset, Power BI paginated report dataset. Just copy here and go to here and can create add dataset. Use this data source which is pointing to the same Power BI dataset. You can simply paste it here and that's all. So this will create a dataset. But here, if you notice, the selection is hard coded. You see. So this is the selection that we made on the slicer. But this is hard coded, right? If you want to allow users to choose this value, right, instead of deluxe, if you want to allow users to choose regular or some other value, you need to make this as a parameter, right? So you can create a parameter and you can replace it. Otherwise, what you can do, you can go with the regular approach like GUI, choose the fields, and on the top you will see an option to add a parameter. So that is another option. But in case if you still want to go with this option, because whatever query that got generated by the Power BI desktop, it's going to be an optimized version. So if you want to go this kind of a query, what you can do, you can use the same query in the Power BI dataset expression. Sorry, paginated report dataset expression. So if you go here, just cancel just a second. So if you go to any dataset, for example, this dataset, either you can paste the query here, the DAX query, or you can go to query designer, or you have another option called FX formula. So here you can write your whole data set as an expression, and then there you can change that hard coded value into a dynamic value by pointing that value into a parameter. So let me show you what I mean. So here you can see tree test. So by default, tree test will not be created, or paginated report will not use tree tests on the script level. So either you have to get the script from the desktop visual and then paste it here, either manually or using this uh, uh, manually. You need to type it or just copy paste. So this is again a same issue. So here it is same data set, Power BI data set. If you see the data set, so whatever we discuss, it's the same. We just want to show brand name wise total sales. If you see, it is showing an expression because I have used this option to create this data set. So this script is exactly same. So here there are roll up and all the summarize column. I'm not using that. If I take another new notepad, you see here we have that evaluate function, and then you have the brand name wise total sales. So this is same, but what we did in the tree task, it was an hard coded value. I've changed that hard-coded value into a parameter. So now you can define a parameter in the paginated report, and you can allow users to choose any value on the parameter. So if they choose, that value will come here, and that will be create a new that will create a DAX script, and that will be passed into the Power BI dataset, and you will see the results in the visual. So if I simply run this, I'll show you what is happened in the backend. So here we can enter the color name. Either we can allow users to enter it manually, or you can have another dataset created and you can show as a list of values. So for example, now I'm entering manually. So if I say black, I can click view report. So this selection, this value will be passed into that expression, and you will see the value for that particular color. Now I can enter another values, for example, blue. You will see the value. This is 109. So you will see more value since we have added more two different colors. So you can see you can easily pass the values that will be dynamically passed into that script, whatever we have here, and you will see the results. Again, just to give you some more idea what we can do during the development, you can create one text box first before creating a data set, and just copy paste this one. Go to expression and paste it here. Just click OK. And if you run it now, let's start with black. You can see treat as is getting that black, whatever is we entered. If I change this into blue or add another color, you can see this is coming correct, blue, or sorry, black and blue. So this is a script that you will be getting in the Power BI desktop. So whenever you choose multiple value, for example, let me choose a color itself. Let me take the same black and blue. I go to this. You can see in treat as black, comma blue. So that's what we achieved here dynamically using the dataset expression. So here the script is same. What I did, I just added the double quotes on all the places. So here double quotes and here double quotes, and in between wherever you have double quotes, you need to again surround with another set of double quotes. And on the hard coded section, if you see the results, this should be exactly similar to this. Within double quotes, first value, comma, again double quotes, comma, second value, again within double quotes. So here we are adding this character 34 that will give you a double quotes, and then we are using a join because if you are trying to pass multiple value, we need to convert that multiple value into comma separated, because here it is comma separated. So that's the reason we are using join, and this parameter is nothing but this parameter what we have in the report, and splitted by comma, because each of the value should be splitted by delimited by comma separator. And then finally we need to have another double quotes. That's where again we are adding this character 34. So with that, we are just replacing this hard-coded value into a parameter, and whatever value that is coming into the parameter, that will be automatically pasted here, and the whole script will be coming like this. So once we have this script, and we will get the results from the Power BI dataset. So I have a dedicated video for this in case if you want to go and watch. That is available in my YouTube channel. So maybe I can share the link. So here I have that video. So yeah, this is the one. DAX treatise, not just DAX treatise. So any functionality that you are achieving within desktop, right? So you can take the script wherever it is hard coded. You can easily change dynamically with the help of these expression based datasets. So in case if you have the field parameters available in Power BI desktop, if you want to achieve the same field parameter in the paginated report, you can achieve with the help of these dynamic dataset expression. Yeah, that's all I have. And these are the some of the resources in case if you want to kickstart with the paginated report. So we have a paginated reports in a day course from Microsoft. You can watch it and you can understand. And as usual, yeah, we have some other resources related to paginated reports. And I have a GitHub resources page where you have more these kind of reports, paginated reports, where you can download and practice by yourself. And you can still watch my YouTube channels or my blog where I covered most of the paginated related contents. And this is my blog, dataap.org, and my YouTube channel is Harish BI. Yeah, that's all for today. Let's take up if there are any questions. Please stop sharing. Do we have any questions, Dhruvin, Abhinav in the YouTube?
So I'm checking, Hari, just a sec. Thanks much, Harry, for this comprehensive session. I think we can call this zero to hero in Paginated. And I don't see immediate questions on Teams. But yes, I did wanted to touch base on one topic that you see that we have these, the ability to create reports, RDLs out of data sets now. So I was wondering,
Yeah.
they are slightly differently formatted. And when you download, you're not able to edit them via Paginated. I think Microsoft has done something specific with those, right?
Yes, I think you are saying a formatted table, Abhinav?
Right, formatted tables report when you export them from dataset, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Actually, the recent announcement on support to the Pro license, so they have started initially with the formatted table. That feature you can see here for each data
Right,
set.
right,
So in case,
right,
yeah,
right.
if you are a new to the paginated report, you can start with this. So this will give you basically this is an RDL online, and we have a limited
Correct.
functionality. Right? We don't have option to
Right.
filter or we don't have a option to customize.
Mhm.
But whatever field that is required, we can add it here, and then this can be saved as a report, for example. And then they can, I mean, you can download this as an RDL and open it in your report builder. Then you can start customize. Can
Right.
see
Okay. So, Hari, did you try that? Because when I downloaded, it did open. I was able to make edits, but unfortunately not able
you
to
cannot upload.
upload it back. Yeah, because
Be-
Paginated wasn't supported back then.
be- Yes,
On
yes,
these
that's correct.
premium.
So yeah, that's correct. That limitation still exists, Abhinav. So maybe they will lift because this is now going to support on Pro license. So they should be able to, maybe we should be able to do the customization and upload it back to the service. But yeah, currently this is a limitation. Yes. So this is the data set or a report that we created using the Power BI data set, and this is the query that that was created for us. And
Okay.
yeah, we can customize.
Right. I did find this useful from self-service BI perspective, though. Uh, Probably something that once this support goes live for RDLs in premium space, I guess these will get popular.
Yes, yeah. Maybe they will be investing more on this space as well, Abhinav. So as of now, right? You can create it. Just simply drag and drop. You don't have option to customize it on the browser, and you don't have option to filter the data. So they are going to invest something on this space as well, and with that, so this is where like more full-fledged self-service option where they no need to download, install report builder and to create and publish it. They can do everything in the browser.
Right. I believe so. Another
Yes, yeah.
feature I recall, Hari, is I have worked a lot on SSRS back 8 years, around for 8, 9 years.
I
So
could see
there
your
used to be
backdrop in the
okay, okay.
LinkedIn backdrop. Yeah, I saw somewhere. Then I realized it is a paginated report.
Yeah, right, right. So actually, there used to be this custom code. I'm not sure why Microsoft stopped support for custom code, but I did try inserting that in with the XML behind the scene on RDL, and it did work both in
Yeah.
the service as well as on because they still support the expressions. So which is even if we write custom code, that would be supported. I'm not sure why that is not there on report builder tool. Uh, but Visual Studio still supports that. Like if you want to create an RDL as such
Yeah.
in the old RDL format and then want to publish that to the service, a lot of that is still working.
Yeah, probably we may expect in the future, but not if we do that, then it will be our own risk. So they're not going to
Right,
support
right.
on this
I
scenario.
believe
And
it's
again, yeah,
VB6, VB.NET, right? That's right.
and again, there are some functionalities, for example, drill through, right? Drill through within report, right? Paginated report to another, which is available in on-prem. Right here in Power BI paginated report, you cannot drill through from one paginated report to another report. So that
Correct.
feature is still pending, but we have sub
Uh-huh.
report. So they have covered most of them. There are few options like
Right, right.
document map, drill
Uh-huh.
through. Those are still pending.
Right, right, right. Yes, document map again. Yes, that's a very strong feature for printable reports and PDFs.
Hi, Hari. I have one query.
Yes, sir. Rajendran.
Rajendra this side. Suppose if the business user want to view the report in services itself, the column headers are not carrying forward to the next page. So is there any limitation for that or else how it is?
It's not a limitation. So what will happen, right? Let me share my screen. So you can leverage that default feature, right? Repeat column header or something, right?
Yeah, you said
So
rendering the things. Render.
sorry,
Is that
render.
a column header rendering?
So your question is how to retain this column header even in the next page, right? The first page, second
Yes,
page,
in
third page, right?
services part. Yeah.
Sir, yes, services, yes. So for that you need to define the column header here. A repeat column header or something is there.
Mhm.
It's somewhere here you can see. So you can try this option. This is the first place where you have to add this option, repeat header on header rows on each page, column header. So yeah, column header on each page.
Mm.
So sometimes this will not work. So for that, what you need to do, you need to go to add advanced options. So in case if you have the matrix visual, customized table, you will see an advanced mode here. Sorry, here. So you choose advanced mode and choose the column, row, I think row or column. And you can set the option here, repeat on new page. That should be changed to false. So with
Okay.
that, yeah, with that, the column header will be repeated on all the pages in the service. Even
Okay.
when you export to PDF, you will see the column header on each page.
Okay. Can we put that row level security also in this paginated reports, right?
Row level security. So in case if you are using a Power BI paginated, Power BI data set, you can apply
Mm.
it there. Otherwise, you have to build another data set. Right? So here you have an option. There is a dedicated function that will print who is running the report.
Okay.
Somewhere global built-in fields, user ID. So this will show your user email ID. So if you have a table created, and maybe you can use that table to see which table visual or which visual they want to see or where they want to hide. But row level security can be done in better in a database. If you are using SQL Server, directly apply row level security on SQL Server database. If not, apply it in the Power BI dataset.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. And you have shown me one script, right, related to that multiple user adding, I mean, user IDs, distribution of the reports. So is that in that we can try to share the in the form of a group or else individually we have to share the reports?
So that script I showed for embedding your report into the email body.
Correct.
Right. So
Yeah.
so here you can have a group, or you can have different recipients added, comma separated, and that can be called here. Group, I need to check whether this PowerShell can understand the group and list of users within the group. That I'm not sure. I need to check.
So we can add in the form of like, maybe I want to add along with the date. I mean, when it has to be delivered, I will
Yes.
declare it as a variable, and then I can add it. I mean, the delivery date also, right, to the end of
Yes.
the
Yes.
file. Fine,
Yes. Yes.
fine.
So yeah, it's more full of customizable. Like you can say what is the name of the report. Yeah, as you said, like you can add, you can print the date and time when this got exported. Yeah.
Fine, fine, fine. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Hari.
Yeah. Okay. If nothing, thanks for everyone. Thanks for your time today. We will let us catch up in some other sessions. Thanks, Abhinav, Dhruvin, Rajendra, for your support.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hari. Thank you so much, Hari. This was really nice. And thanks so much for joining us on a Saturday. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for your
Hari.
time.
Thank you, Abhinav.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dhruvin. Thank you. Bye.